thought, you know what is constant, and the Holy Spirit, he's a G for it, because for me, that's my ghostwriter. Do you know what I'm saying? For me personally, that's my ghostwriter. That's the person, anything that people connect with my music, in the lyrics, in the concepts, I can do what I can to only a level, but I feel when the icing is on the cake comes from God, where he makes it more than I could have. I have the idea, but then he'll pour an anointing on it. He will empower it to be more than I can. And so once I realized that, I was like, okay, well, if I make it from the heart and ask him for his help, that's my sweet spot. That's when it can be what God wants it to be. That's when it can be much more than I can ever want it to be. Instead of making music that everybody else is making, or instead of making music that is hip now, that is in, bumping on the radios, or, do you know what I'm saying? Let me make music that I feel in my heart, that I can connect with, and I'll put that out there. And whoever connects with it, connects with it. And I think now that gives me a bit more strength, and it gives me a bit more confidence in what I'm doing, because I'm like, no, you know what? I made this from the heart, and I like it, and that's what I'm about. I want to be able to make something and play it back and rewind it. Even though I wrote it, I'm going to be like, woo, that lyric, what? When you can rewind your own music, then you're in a sweet spot. And someone like Giggs is like that all the time. He's like, I don't care if everybody hates it. This is it. This is the stuff that I love. So it's about make music from your heart, because otherwise you're going to live with that for the rest of your days, man.
That's real, man.
Trust me.
And that led to OHA, one hit away.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I consider that as a movement.
Yeah, 100%. I need to push it more.
It's more than just music.
Yeah.
It's a movement. It's a, like you said, that's your motto, isn't it?
That's my motto, man. That's my mantra, man.
Yeah, man. Break it down.
That came from last year. It's so funny because Bible says, when you're weak, that's when he's strong in it. Yeah, and so even though I can come to a place of confidence, I still have places of doubt and just like, is this worth it? This is long. Like, what is this? And so I came off Phoenix. I'm like, woo! Came off a high, yo. I done the show. I released a book. My days. We done the Becoming video. It won an award, but I was still, I still had some kind of unrest in me. Can I still keep doing this? What is my position now, a year on from it? And so again, I was in Shoreditch, and I was just walking, and someone stopped me. He goes, "Oh, Icie." I was like, "Yeah, bro." And he goes, "Man, I love your music and everything. I just want to encourage you to keep going. I really love what you're doing and everything. Like, you're one of my favorites. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're one hit away." And I was like, and he didn't know, but at that time, again, I was at a stage where I was just like, this is long. I don't even know what am I supposed to put out next. Do I put out what everybody wants? Do I have to put out a grime? Grime was popping off. Okay, maybe I've got to do a grime EP. And I was just disheveled, and I was just in Shoreditch at the time, and he stopped me. But he didn't know that those words of encouragement were to kind of spur that moment of one hit away. And when I got home, I just reflected, and I was like, yeah, it's true, like everybody was unknown before they became known. Everybody had songs out before that one song blew at their career. And so I thought, yeah, for real, I am one hit away. But not just me, everyone is. And I remember I spoke to Dennis from A Step Forward, and I told him about the idea that I wanted to do for the EP. And he said, you know what, it's bigger than you. I was like, what do you mean? He said that it's not just, he was saying it's not just you who do music, but people that have fashion lines, people who are entrepreneurs, people, they're one business card away from that. They're one investment away from, turning over 1 million a year. You're one football trial away from being the next whoever. And so I thought, it's true. Like, let's put out something that encourages not just myself, but others around me. Like, yo, you're one hit away. So when I even talk to people now, I tweet people on Twitter, I'm just like, yo, I'll see them doing well, and I'm like, keep going, man, one hit away. Yeah. Because for real, you're one hit away. Like, for all of us, if you can maintain, and I always say, patient persistence will perfect this. Patient persistence will perfect this thing. But you've got to be in it for the long run. That's why, when you ask me how long you've been doing this, I've been doing this from 1998. That's a long time. And so, to the logical person and the practical person, it should be by now. Stop. You should leave it. But I can't. I've tried. Think how many times I've tried. I've told you in this whole conversation. I've tried to stop this, but my patient persistence will perfect this all, and it will take me to a place that I need to be with this music, whereby as many listeners can hear the messages that I have, you know. And so, one hit away is just not me; it's everyone, and it's just to encourage people that keep going at whatever your purpose is, your dream. It's gonna be so difficult and hard, but you're one hit away, man.
It's big, man. I saw the awards that you were giving out as well, man. That was a dope move, you know. For sure, man. Yeah. I'm thinking about in terms of the balance between Icie as the rapper and married man. How do you deal with that in terms of social media persona and you as the person?
Yeah. I mean, being a married rapper, like sometimes, like if you think of it, it's supposed to be, that's an oxymoron. Like you can't be married and be a rapper. But I love my wife. Do you know what I'm saying? She, hats off to her, 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? Shout out Diana. She makes it easy to be a husband, but then I rap, you know, on the side. Do you know what I'm saying? Because she's like a #1 supporter. She's from before when we were even friends. And F64s or SPTV F64s were around. I wanted to try and get an F64 to be on SPTV, and so we came up with an idea of let's campaign for it. If we make enough noise, then he'll be forced to look at you. And so we printed off these Icie for F64, like little banners, kind of little flyers, and we'd hand them around. We would find people who were influential, DJs, people in the industry. She knew people, so she would get them to take pictures, and we'd post them up. And that was when we were friends, like good general friends. So from there, she was already supporting me from just feeling that, nah, this guy's dope. You know what I'm saying? So now being married, even more so, she'll be like, nah, you know, keep going. From time to time, she'll be like, have you been to the studio? You haven't been to the studio. Because she knows I need that release. I need that that element there to vent and get out all the things that I'm maybe experiencing in life. So, you know, she helps me be able to do those different roles, be a husband or be a rapper. But then also when you've got the social media aspect, I've learned now, I'm learning that, you know, social media is just a construct. It's just a construct. Like we present the best version of ourselves, which is understandably so. It's like when you take pictures, nobody wants a picture that they don't look good in. It's just human. You don't want a picture that you don't look good in. So if you've taken 4, you'll delete that one and take another 6 until you get the one you want. And then the same with social media. We socially present the one that puts us in the best light. But I've learned that I have to kind of check, what did you post in relation to who you really are? Is that person you're posting or presenting, is that really you? If it's not, take that thing down, man, because you're then presenting a perception of yourself that's not real. Try and keep it, for me personally, this is not for everyone to take on, but I just try and keep it authentic. So even if I was to do a video, I'd want my car in the video, my Vauxhall Astra. No rims, it has no tints. Otherwise, if I do put it on, the insurance is going to go up. So just keep it basic. That's the whip I want in the video because that's my car. You know, the clothes that I have are the clothes that I'm going to wear in the video. Obviously, if you get a stylist, boom. But, do you know what I'm saying? I want to try and keep it as authentic as possible. And I think because social media, it makes people believe in a certain perception, I think it's important to try and put the real version of you out there so that when they meet the real you, when they sit with the real you, there's not like a massive chasm of those differences, you know what I'm saying? Now, and that's just for me, because, you know, everybody's different, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm trying now to just present who I really am, the goods and the good and the bad, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning, man. It's all a learning curve, 100%.
Process, man. And what are the realities in like doing music? So obviously, a lot of people that started out will look up, like you say, you're in a position where you're looking at what everyone else is doing. And obviously social media does play a big part in that, in like presenting yourself as whoever you want to present yourself as. But like, what are the like realities of doing music, you know, financially, mindset, purpose and business? What are the
Yeah.
realities of
I think, like you said, it's just music. I guess music is all about, again, about perception anyway. So putting people in the video with chains and whips, and which is fine. That's cool. That's how you can do it. But because that's the premise of what it is, some people don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Like you put out an album, it sounds like it's doing great, but what are the numbers saying?
Exactly.
If we go and check the numbers, you probably only did 1,000 copies. But perception, marketing, promotion make it seem like it's a lot. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think one of the realities is the business. One is the business side of it, whereby you've got to make sure the music is as much as there's the hype about it, is the music actually bringing some type of return to what you're doing? Do you know what I'm saying? That's not the end all and be all, but perception makes it seem bigger than it is. And so sometimes people are challenged with that. They have to look great, or they have to look like they're doing good, but behind the scenes they're not. They're struggling, and part of the struggle is that music doesn't generate a lot of money, like sales, unless you are doing the numbers, the Ed Sheerans, the Stormzy's and Malik Berry. If you're not doing those numbers, it's not bringing that much of a return. So the realities are that people struggle to do this music. They struggle to carry on the art, to pay for videos. If you're gonna, I always tell people, if you're gonna do a video, understand the realities that you're facing, because whoever you're going to pay to do the video, you're going to pay to do the video. So that's like £350. You can put it on your own channel, which is cool, but if your channel doesn't have enough subscribers or traffic, then you're going to have to put it on a major platform, Gram Dailies, the link ups, etc. That's going to cost money. That's another £250. So your whole, just one video, plus you probably have to pay, if you do that, you're going to have to pay a stylist. Just look good in the video. It's another, let's say, £200, £300, depending on who you get. So we're looking at close to £600-700 for one visual that you put out that you don't know if it actual return, give a ROI, return on investment, even in your YouTube views. And so sometimes the realities behind the smoke screen are that it takes money to do this. Promotion and marketing, the main thing that and I would always encourage an artist to spend money on, only because I just understood it recently, is marketing, PR, because I can release Phoenix. But if you ask someone, a common person on the street, or people in the industry, they haven't heard about Phoenix. They don't know what Phoenix is. They don't want to know what One Hit Away is, because the marketing pounds weren't behind it, pushing it out there. So these are the realities you're facing behind the business aspect of it, the finance to continue to invest in getting that music out there. And I think some people can see the perception, the glitz and the glamour of it, but not realize until they get into the situation that, okay, you got to pay for mastering. Mixing and mastering, you better look at your grands. You better look at your grands to get it sounding to a level that the industry say, yeah, that's good. Not that's amazing, that's good. You see what I'm saying? So I'm realizing only now how far I'm in this, that budgets are, if labels work with budgets, you as an independent artist have to work with a budget. What's your budget? Yes, you can't announce the launch date of your mixtape or your EP if you don't have a budget. If you haven't worked out what's your budget first, how much are we spending on marketing promotion, how much are we going to spend on radio plugin, how much are we spending on visuals? Are we doing 3 visuals or 2 visuals, depending on your budget? It's all on your budget. If labels work with budgets, you as an independent, and I'm only learning, I swear I'm only learning this now, you have to work with a budget. When you get money from bookings, what happens to that money? Is it reinvested into another project, or is it reinvested into another venture that can turn a profit to keep you doing what you're doing? Because some people want to do this for ever, but you've got to you might have to work a full-time job. So is the full-time job there to sustain that, and then until that can keep going, or do you have the luxury to just make music and not pay rent? You know what I'm saying? Or not pay a mortgage. So I think that's one of the major things. Perception makes people feel that's the only thing to focus on, the glitz and the glamour. But behind, you have to work out the mechanics so that you can keep making music that you love and that you want to do.
Nice, dope. So you got the sit down coming up.
Yeah.
When has the sit down actually launched? When is it officially launching?
It's Friday the 7th of April, the sit down. All right, and that's with A-Star. Top grime artist. the sit down came from this whole thing, like the perception thing. I wanted to pull down the construct of perception and show people behind the scenes what people actually are dealing with. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I would have WhatsApp conversations with people and like artists, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be hearing the stuff that we'll be talking about, the stuff that they're going through. And then I'll be thinking, but our Instagram or social media doesn't necessarily reflect that. So perception-wise, it looks like everything is good and everything is cool, everything is flying with that person.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, people are dealing with stuff and going through highs and lows. And unless that's exposed to people, unless you sit down and actually get to talk with that person face to face, you don't even know what's happening. Yeah. And I felt that there were stories and testimonies woven into their journeys that people can, you know, draw strength from and realize that, oh, you lost a loved one as well, but you just put out an album. Yeah, man, lost a loved one. I put out an album and I still had to go through that. And so just bringing everyone to a common ground, because we put people on pedestals, but just to sit down, and it was everyone to sit down. So it's a live Q&A audience. So the audience are there. They've got their own questions. I've got my own questions for the artists. And then we just hash it out. We just keep it real. Nothing too crazy. We talk and we chat, and the audience just so happened to be there. Friday 7th of April, tickets are £5. You can get 2 for £8. iciemusicuk.com. The link is right there, and it's going to be great, man. We've got A-Star coming. He's coming in with his fiance as well. So we're talking with them like as a couple as well, and I can't wait. I was talking to him on Skype on the weekend, and it was just things that we were talking about that we're going to talk about on the show. Like he's got sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? How do you manage having sickle cell but you're a Christian and you believe in healing? How do you marry those two? Do you know what I'm saying? He took a break from social media for like a couple of months, delving into that a bit more, and he had a few things to say on his track 96 Bars. Do you know what I'm saying? They pay you with rice and a Sprite can. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're going to really just be breaking it down and delving into it. So it promises to be great, man. I can't wait. And it's not just going to be like with gospel artists. I'm going to be talking about to business people in the future, and just lining up different ones that I feel we can learn from your story. Come and sit down. You know what I'm saying? Come to sit down. So make sure you get your tickets. Don't know, www.iciemusicuk.com. Yo.
Nice. Yeah, make sure you go and visit that. That's on Friday the 7th of April.
Yes, man.
Doors open at 7 p.m.
Yeah, man.
At the Young Actors Theatre. I'll give you the address right now if you're taking note. Yeah, take notes, man. Visit the website, of course, you have more information. But the address is Young Actors Theatre, 70 to 72, Barmsbury Road in Islington, N1 OES. Yeah, go and get your tickets. £5.
Yeah, man, £5, man. Certain people pay £150 for Drake. Come to the sit down for £5.
Yeah, you can get 2 tickets for £8, man. So yeah, man, bring your friend and come and learn something. Live performance by Joe Joey on the night.
Yes, and that's part of the sit down as well. Part of that is bringing in new talent as well. Let me expose you to somebody you maybe have not heard before, but you sit down and you take it in.
Nice.
It's a sit down event, and the way we've got it is almost like lecture style. You sit down, take it in, because music, the way music is sometimes, it gets released. You listen to it once, you throw it away. Yeah. Come and take someone in. And Joe Joey, for me, he's the future.
You guys already heard him, man. So make sure you visit Icie on his website, www.iciemusicuk.com.
Yeah.
And you'll find more information on that, man. I'm excited about the new mixtape that you got.
Yeah, man. So, man.
Talk to me about this new mixtape you got coming up.
Yeah, it came from last year when it's weird how it's sometimes in the darkest situations, that's when the strongest music comes from, for me personally. So I was just down, man. I was depressed. I was down, man. I was just frustrated with so many things that were happening up and down in my life. And so music was almost like the last thing I had in my mind. It was like, that, I ain't got time for that. I'm dealing with life at the moment. And I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to talk to God. I was just like, yo, forget this. I was questioning bare stuff, like with my faith. I was just like, I'm done, man. All this is just long. But then my mum called me one day, and I called my mum just to check up on her. Yeah. I remember, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing's I think someone, how are you? Let's not focus on me. Let's focus on you. How are you? And I was talking to her, but she was just like, what's wrong? Like, you've got a lump. Like a lump, what is it? Her mum, like, what are you talking about? She goes, this is a lump. And so I didn't know, but when she said it, I reflected on it. It was a lump of like anger and bitterness towards God. I was just like, you don't do what you say. You say you'll do this, you're the Lord of this, and you love me, and you're all powerful, and you say all that, but it doesn't reflect in my life. I don't see that. And so I think that was building a lump of like hardness and bitterness towards him, where it was like, anything that is about you, just don't even bring it near me. Going to church, I'll be in church, but just sitting there, just like listening to the pastor, but just being like, yeah, really, oh, okay. And so it literally was just in my heart, it was just getting hard, man. It was just really getting hard. So the lump she was referring to was that. And then she just started to pray, and even then I tensed up, because like, don't bring that stuff near, don't bring it near me, because there was a part of me that feared, if you bring it near me, then the light's going to pierce through, and if the light pierces through, then I'm going to have to open myself up to God. If I open myself up to God, then I might have to start believing again. I might have to start having faith again, and I don't want to have faith and then feel let down. So I was like, I was trying to almost like push it away, but you know how God does it. It pierced through, and I remember I was sitting in my living room with my back against the wall and my hands together because I was clenched up. And then she said, just let go. And when she said don't let go, I literally just felt chains on my hand. There weren't chains on my hand, obviously, but I felt like a release, like a let go. And so I started to pray as well. And, you know, I felt in my heart God was saying, you know, I couldn't hear anything. I just felt in my heart that after your mum finishes praying, come, like you've been running, come and let's talk. Like, and I just, after the phone conversation ended, I got on my knees and was like, God, you know what? I don't have all the answers to all the madness that has happened, but I'd rather be with you and have these questions than without you and still not have these questions answered. I'd rather just jam here. If we got to jam here to the end and I die and I find out it wasn't even real, oh, okay, but I'd rather be with you. Let me be on this side, have these questions, still not fully know, but still be in your presence and connected with you, because I find more peace in that way. Let's keep going. And from that came this mixtape. Like songs, I'm telling you, mate, the music, this mixtape is the best work I have ever made in my life. But it came from that. Do you know what I'm saying? I would literally, normally it takes me months to write 1 16-bar. But because coming out from that situation, for some reason, I just had a Holy Spirit as my ghostwriter in it. So I just had it just poured out of me. I could write a song in a day. The hook would come and be like, what? It normally takes me ages to think of a hook would come in a day. And I would say to my wife, say it was 9 o'clock, I'd be like, she was going to bed, I'd be like, Hannah, and she'd know what I mean, I've got to go to the living room, and I'll just stay in the living room while she's in the bedroom, and I'll just be writing all night, like 1 a.m., 9 to 1 a.m., 2 songs would be done. And when I would listen to it back, I felt it. I was like, yes. I was like, oh, this, and I thank God, because I was doing flows that I'd never actually done before. Normally, I'm just a deep rapper, who makes you think and deep. But it was bringing out for me flows that were a bit more, like you were talking about the flow of a rapper, that are a bit more catchy, a bit more easier on the ear. But I didn't know I had that in me. And like you said, if I was in a session and someone told me to write like that, I'd be like, no, that's not me. I'm all right, man. I don't do that stuff. But Holy Spirit, I thought He, from that situation, helped me. So this mixtape, I haven't even got a title for it, but I'm working with a concept that that is gonna feed into it. And I can't. For me, I don't even care if one person doesn't download it. That it's almost like that one is for me. Like I've got only studio unmixed versions on my phone that I listen to and I play. It's for me, for myself. So for me, this is the best. I can actually confidently say it's the best music I've ever made. And I really can't wait to share it, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to create that and then I'm here to just share it. So
That's absolutely amazing, man. We can't wait to hear the mixtape.
thank you, man.
Have you come back out here?
Yeah,
and share that
100%, man.
music with us.
100%.
Alright, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna play If Only, and then when we come back, Icie's gonna drop us a feeding session. Can you
Yeah,
introduce the track just before I play?
Yeah, If Only. That's with me and my wife on it. That's the first one we've ever done together. So, and it's just me thinking, if only she could see how I look at her, if only she could see what I see in her.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was almost like a song that just appreciates her, that, you know, thank you for being who you are, and so big up to her, man. Been married like 4.5 years, is that right? Oh, she would tell me. But yeah, 4.5 years, 5 years in July. So I just appreciate her, man. Big up her, man.
This is Icie with If Only on Freedom Session.
If you got that wrong, she'll probably slap you.
I got it. I'm sure I got it right. Hopefully. Jeez.
Yeah, that was a good session, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
bless,
yeah,
man. Thank you,
You
man.
actually touched me, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Bless, man. I love the way you lead with the questions. I'm listening to, because it's weird. I'm studying how people interview now, because I've got to do interviews for the sit down. So I like the way that you are just. Yeah, you just made it. You just made it flow. So.
I'm
man.
gonna stand up for the freestyle.
Okay,
or
cool.
how you feel?
Let me sit. I can sit. Yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
Look in the mirror closely.
No, it actually did touch me because recently I just stopped rapping for a little while myself.
Mm.
You know, and it touched me because that's the way I'm feeling right now.
In what you feel?
In respect, when you said, what am I actually here to do for God though,
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of thing. So that's the way I'm feeling right now. Because I've been hearing a lot of people, Alum, you should continue doing rapping, or Alum, don't do rapping, it's not for you.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to find a balance, and now I'm starting my own company for a gospel record label. So it's
Yeah.
like, and I still have the passion of fire inside me to rap.
Yeah.
And I know it's God that's given me that passion of fire to do it, because it can't be anybody else. So, and the way you said about being a creative, that's the way I think of myself as well.
Yeah.
I'm a creative. Feed them, he's a creative as well. So we are creatives,
Yeah.
and we are here to bring souls into Jesus Christ.
Could you go on my phone?
Hmm? Where's your phone?
You can't find your phone.
Well, give it a call and find out. You might be
Who's here? Ghost. Look in the mirror closely. Yo, people. Listen to me closely. Let me tell you exactly what I see. That's what.
Left the charge.
Just freestyle. Oh, nice. Just the freestyle left. And
Alright.
then,
Listen.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Oh,
You've made it clear for me, though.
Oh, good.
Seriously. That's what I'm trying to say. You actually made it clear for me.
wow. Thank God, man.
Because I was struggling, because I was getting a lot of opinions by the people, and I was taking it in rather than listening to what God is actually wanting me to do.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So, and I think that and I'm thinking in my head, are people what are saying, especially my pastor as well, because you're thinking, because he's your spiritual father
He's
and
got
what
that
have
authority
you.
of voice to-
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's what it is. You get what I mean, innit? So the way you spoke, the whole thing today is like, you know what? Maybe EK will come back.
Just know what it's just know what your called to do, you know what I'm saying? Because then you can't.
Because we're not here for finance, we're not here for money, but a lot of, because I come from a church, a background where it's like very African or like cultured,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So my pastor is an Igbo, so, and you know how Igbos are, they're very money conscious. Sort of thing. So he's always saying, you need to prosper, you need to prosper. So he's saying, Adam, music is not there for you, music is going this way for you, and that way for you, and this
And
way
it does,
for you,
it
and that
does.
for you.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
But I guess,
So-
like you said, it's about knowing what
yeah,
you're,
exactly.
what you're,
So,
what you
no,
call to do.
you opened my eyes, it was really good, it really did.
Thank you, man.
So, I really do thank God.
Love it all to find. Love it all to find.
Yeah. That can work out, man. 40 minutes.
Oh,
40
sorry.
minutes, yeah?
14
You
minutes.
actually putting 40 minutes straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it just flows, man. I'll chop you up on the video, with it.
That was.
With the shift. Oh, my
Then you
days.
see my hands were a little bit shaking at the end, man. It was dropping that I was trying to reflex because I was holding it with my left hand for like
What
40
makes you
minutes.
smart? What makes you smart?
No, but it's good.
Alright, so straight after this one, I'm going to go straight into the freestyle.
Yeah, let's go. Oh gosh.
Um,
Dun, dun, dun,
I
dun.
need to charge my phone, man. You see that?
Oh, is that alright? To record the freestyle?
Yeah, 35 minutes. I'll just.
Alright. I'm about to get in now, so you should start recording.
I'll do it now. Just put this in here first. Okay.
Wheel up that DJ.
Let's take it back. Icie in the building on Freedom Session. Let's get it.
Yo. OHA, one hit away. Freedom Sessions.
Yeah.
You can't rain on the ice, man. Freedom comes at a price, man. The sit down Friday 7th of April, anti-A-Star. Listen. Let's get it. Hey. Red wine tears down, I think I need another. Take me to a place where I don't think about tomorrow. For Mrs. Doubtfire, suicide was an option. Life can make you feel like there ain't no other option. Man, I know that option, stared it right in the face. I stepped back, realized that no, this can't be my fate. I lost my way, but then I found my way. But then I lost my way, now I don't even know the way. I hate bringing up the past, but it still scars my heart. And I'm surprised I even made it this far. I got issues that you can't count. I got rewind issues that you can't count. Chasing the shadows of my inspirations. Never shrink when you're in a room full of greatness. You see the becoming, it had the blogs popping. I'm praying that my words make you feel something. And let God navigate your destiny. I'm praying that I can see the best in me. I'm still treading water, the oceans are calling out for me. I fear success, so I'm secretly sabotaging me. And I'm backing all these lyrics up on iCloud. And yes, friends start to see the vision now. Femi quoted me like $2,000 for the video. I need a house deposit, I couldn't justify the video. I'm glad my film degree, it came in handy. I wrote the treatment and started planning. I hollered at Alex, please help me shoot the video. Ended up only spending $150 on the video. Skepta's mum messaged me, get the music out there. Auntie, I'm trying, there's just so many rappers out there. I rose from the ashes, designed my own website. I put on 2 shows, still couldn't get the buzz right. If you really knew me, would you play me? I've been played once, Talika thought it was a plaything. Council said to take the house to take us all to court. Jason's up for assault, glad I told the truth in court. Hannah's living in IB for sunsets every day. Had a dream, made it happen, to be the local all the way. Just be careful what you pray, I just did 3 shows in one day. I swear down, I need a plane for a change. 10% to God, all these bills first. Payday got me feeling so nervous. S is getting older, looking so beautiful. Scared I can't protect her from the wolves in the thickest wool. A lifetime to execute the plan. Taya Leo 4 years on this wedding down. Michael's ambitions now, you can't comprehend. Mr. Ice Cream about to really set the trend. Box Park conversations really got me buzzing. Plus Wretch's album launch really showed me something. People will gather to applaud the king. As long as there's humility when they kiss the ring. OHA, one hit away, Freedom Sessions, Icie. You can't rain on the ice, man. Let's sit down, man. Friday 7th of April. Make sure you're there.
Make sure you're there indeed, man.
Yo.
Icie passing through of a mad one. Aye.
Shout out to you, man. Thank you for helping me. Let me come down, man.
I appreciate you coming down, my brother.
Love, man. Love, love.
Just sign us out with a word of encouragement to anybody listening in. Right here on Freedom Session.
What's the word encouraging? You know what? What's that scripture I love? My favourite scripture is, what is it now? Was it Psalm 139? What's that say? I can't remember. Now, Psalm 139 says, what does it say again? Oh Lord, that's it. Oh Lord, you have searched me and know me. Like, you know my standing up, you know my sitting down, you know everything. It's almost like you know everything. So that scripture I always use to encourage people that be the realest you that you can be before God, because if he knows it all, then who you pretending before? You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're struggling with, whatever is a battle for you, yeah, take that to him, because it's not like he doesn't know. So bring the realest you to him. Do you know what I'm saying? So he can change what he needs to change, so he can highlight what he needs to highlight. But so no more perception, no more faking, till thine own self be true as night follows day, thou can't be false to any man. Shakespeare. That's Shakespeare, yo. That's Macbeth. But Psalm 139, yeah, man. Big up, man. Big up to everyone listening, man.
Definitely. Much love to everyone tuned in the Freedom Session show. We're just blessed by you guys, man. Thank you very much, Icie, one more time. Make sure
problem, man. OHA, man.
Yeah, man. Jump on the wave, man. And just connect with him on all social media at iciemusicuk.com.
Yeah, iciemusicuk.com. If you want to get on my Twitter, iciemusic. My Instagram, iciemusic. My Facebook, iciemusic. My website, iciemusic.com. Holla! Shout me, man. Let me know you're alive.
Much love, man. We out.
Peace.
Wow. Really inspired me today, Icie, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Icie in the building. Yeah, my thing. Let us know what you thought of the show. Connect with us. Show the love, man. God bless you till next time.
That must be love.
I'm gonna log you off of Instagram.
Peace.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
That was a joke.
Blessing.
That was a joke. Can you get some pictures?
Yeah, man.